What is going on, guys? Gamers Goon here today, and as you guys can see, I am joined with a good friend of mine in the IWC, Indigo Uchiha. What is going on, Indigo?
What's going on, my guy? Oh, thank you so much for having me on the channel. It's an
Of
honor.
course, of course. We have this preview and predictions is going to be interesting. It is not going to be as long as the other ones because they've only given us 4 matches for this show. That's actually, in my opinion, a good thing because I don't want to sit here and watch a C-level pay-per-view for 3.5 hours, 4 hours. And hopefully this just only lasts 2 hours, 2.5 at the most, because I don't know how you can make 4 matches go that long. How you feeling going into Sunday here?
To be honest, bro, I totally forgot there was a pay-per-view this weekend. And it's just going to feel weird, to be honest, because normally we get this pay-per-view in October, around Halloween times.
Yep.
But we talked about it. We assume that they are going back to Saudi in that month.
I think that's what they're going to end up doing probably. But usually they would have Money in the Bank here, so it's kind of weird pacing here. So it's definitely a different vibe going into this Hell in a Cell. And I don't really know why we had to have Hell in a Cell rather than any other pay-per-view, because none of the matches call for Hell in a Cell. I don't really understand the purpose of having the Hell in a Cell gimmick involved in any of this. I've been saying it for the last couple of years. The Hell in a Cell pay-per-view itself isn't really needed, in my opinion. I would stick the cell match and have it as a special match for a special occasion if there's a blood-type feud like we saw with the Usos and Roman Reigns. I wouldn't have a whole pay-per-view dedicated to this to this match. So hopefully they change that in the future, but they probably won't because, Vince McMahon, he does what he wants to do. But the main match I was looking forward to, whether or not it was going to be interesting or not, because it was very predictable, was going to be Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns. That actually got pulled, and that match is actually happening tonight on SmackDown. Do you have any thoughts about that match? I assume you think Roman's probably going to win.
Most definitely. Nobody should be taking the title off of Roman right now until they build somebody on his level.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be Cena. It shouldn't be Rock, because they already established people. We have to build for the future, bro. Because Roman, I don't know Roman's exact age, but he is in his mid-30s. So 10 years from now, he's not going to be in the company, if I'm being straight up. So they have to find somebody to build up to eventually take that title from Roman. And like you said, it's not Rey Mysterio.
No.
But
whoever takes the title off him is going to be the biggest babyface in the company by far. And just Rey Mysterio just does not fit that build. He's too old. He's not in the position where they're going to want to build him up to be the face of the company, because that's ultimately what whoever beats Roman is going to end up being, because Roman right now is by far the best wrestler, and not even just the WWE, but in all the world, in my opinion. So definitely, it's just not going to be Rey Mysterio. Not in 2021. It's just not Rey Mysterio's time. But we will start off the actual Hell in a Cell card now. This is the last time we're going to be seeing a pay-per-view in the Thunderdome. Thank God. I'm so glad that this is going to be the last time. I hope we never have to suffer through those ever again. Please just get that over with. But we are going to start the show off here today talking about the train wreck that is Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss. I'll let you start us off here with this one.
Well, thank you for the honor, bro. I should be straight up. I don't watch Monday Night Raw at all. I don't tweet about it. I don't do none of that. I just don't care about the show no more. Last time I watched Raw, to be honest, was 2017. That summer, if you recall, bro, with Samoa Joe, Braun,
Mojo,
Roman,
Brock.
that title scene. That was when the last time I was watching Raw. And a lot has changed since then.
It's fallen
But
down a steep hill.
Alexa Bliss, man. I'll be honest. At first, when she first did the character change, I was digging it. I was digging the pairing with Bray Wyatt, and now it's like she just took the gimmick. She just took his gimmick and ran with it. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Shayna, I feel so sorry for this woman. She should have beaten Becky last year at WrestleMania. Now I get it. The company didn't know of Becky's pregnancy at that time, hence that decision. But even Becky herself wanted to drop the belt to Shayna. I feel Shayna should have been champion to this day for that year. And look what they did to her. Paired her with Nia Botch, made her a tag team champion with that Botch machine. Pair Reginald with them. Apparently now that's over with from what I saw on YouTube. And we just missed the old Shayna, bro.
Yes, we
The
do.
NXT Shayna.
The
We haven't
dominant
seen
run, the fighter that came up with Ronda Rousey and the four horsewomen of the MMA. That woman is far and gone now.
those were the days, bro. We haven't seen anybody like Shayna since Asuka, to be honest, in NXT. And now the Raw Women's division is so garbage. Like there's no interest at all in it. And this match just came out of nowhere. You told me that, hey, they added this match to the card. I was like, what?
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, it just makes no sense. I mean, Shayna Baszler's scared of Alexa Bliss. Like, why? Why?
Let me tell you something, bro. I've been watching Raw since '98. I think late '97, one of them. And I haven't seen an ending to Monday. I haven't seen an ending that bad ever to Raw. And there has been bad Raws growing
There's been
up.
terrible Raws, but that's just inexcusable.
Exactly. It's like the companies really they moving towards that sports entertainment aspect of Vince vision.
I don't even know how it's sports entertainment. I don't find it entertaining. It's
Exactly.
it's just
It,
garbage.
it only entertains little kids and teenagers and the stands of Alexa Bliss with her as their profile picture, people like that. But the match is gonna suck. I'm sorry. I'm going with Shayna to win.
I hope that Shayna wins. I got this gut feeling that we're gonna be severely disappointed. I'm gonna take Alexa. I don't want to say that, but I think it's gonna happen. They for some reason they think it's a good idea to give Alexa Bliss Bray Wyatt's Bray Wyatt's doesn't even have a character. Bray Wyatt's just done. And Alexa literally just stole his gimmick, and now she's going up against Shayna, who should be booked as a legit woman who doesn't take any crap from anybody, and just she should be the champion right now. She should be running through the whole division one by one, and and they got her scared of Alexa Bliss. Why? How? I don't understand how that happens. How do you mess up Shayna Baszler like that? So I have a gut feeling that we're gonna end up seeing Alexa Bliss win. Hopefully I'm wrong with that. Hopefully we can start turning the page and get Shayna Baszler back on track to where she needs to be. But I don't think Vince is necessarily gonna do what's right there. So that's all I got to say about that one. Do you have anything else to add?
I'll say this, bro. Let's hope that knowing them, they probably are thinking this. They probably gonna put Alexa in that title picture.
Please,
And
no.
I think that no more championships for that woman. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause this division,
There's so
let's
many
talk
more
about it,
talented
bro.
women now, and they don't use them.
The division as a whole, especially now. I'm only talking Monday Night Raw right now. It's like they're really going back to the Divas era, bro.
They
Cause
are.
now
Ever since Ronda Rousey left, that's
even
exactly where they've been going.
yeah. Cause we saw it when Ronda was there. Like they took it real serious. They was, if not more, there was more interest in them than the men. I'm guarantee you that. And everything just felt so important. Like we always invested. Like, I remember. You remember that night on Monday Night Raw, bro, when Becky won the Rumble?
Oh yes,
Hey, I had goosebumps that
I
night,
I
bro.
did too.
Like,
It was just a special feeling in the air. You knew it was going to be a big moment come WrestleMania, and
and
they
to
haven't
go
even
from
came
that
close to touching that again.
bro, to where we at right now. They brought Eva Marie back. The Bella Twins are coming back eventually. It's like they going backwards, and wait till Sasha come back, man. That's
Wait
all
till
I'm gonna
she comes
say.
back and loses to the Bella Twins.
Hey, you thought losing to the Iconics was bad, bro?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I, I I I don't even know why we're going back to the old Divas era. We need to move on. We need to keep doing what we were doing with NXT. The NXT women's division last about 2 or 3 years have been killing. Actually, ever since Sasha and Baylor there in 2014, they've been killing it.
Yeah. Ever
So,
since then,
I
because
mean, go ahead.
even when the four horsewomen got called up, not I'm gonna use the three of them: Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha. And Bailey was still in there holding it down in NXT. After Bailey left, like we saw it, bro. Like Triple H kept grooming these women to become what they were at the time. And the women's wrestling was just on fire, man. Ever since then, ever since that takeover Brooklyn match, bro, with Sasha and Bailey, like we had hope, but now it's an agenda. They only do it when they feel is good for business. It's gonna make them a bunch of money, and that's just not good because we see it in other promotions. Women's wrestling is flourishing.
Yeah.
So Monday Night Raw in general is just awful, and that women's division is
They have
it's
good names
just
in the division. The
yeah
division just
they
sucks.
do.
They just don't know how to book the division. That's the problem.
There's only that one guy, man.
Vince and Bruce. We love to hate them. But let's get into Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I don't
Here we go.
I don't even know why this is happening. I hate the fact that this is happening. Rhea Ripley should have already beat Charlotte at WrestleMania a year ago. I don't necessarily know why Charlotte's even getting a title shot here. I really don't care, to be honest with you. Um, I feel bad for Rhea because in NXT, Rhea, it was somebody a lot of people cared about. They wanted to be a fan of Rhea Ripley because she just had a different vibe to her where she could be this badass women's wrestler that everybody could gravitate towards. But then she gets called up to the main roster, and it's been a joke. Rhea Ripley's the champion, but nobody, it feels like nobody cares about Rhea Ripley. It's just been underwhelming. Um, Unfortunately, I don't think Rhea should hold the title much longer, but fortunately for her, I don't think she should drop it to Charlotte. So I'm going to take Rhea Ripley. How about you?
Um, so I wrote this in my notes, bro, because I was conflicted with the this goes back into our last conversation. the division is awful, man. Like there's no interest. Like you said, there's women on there that's good, like Naomi. Even Mandy Rose, she's improved
gotten
a
a lot
lot,
better.
but they never gave her opportunity, which is really shocking, given how she
Given
looked.
Vince's
How she,
profile, yeah, extremely.
yeah, and Charlotte, I'm done with Charlotte in the title picture.
Yeah.
They not obviously they gonna have her beat her father's record eventually.
Yeah, probably more than likely, yeah.
Which is a fictional record because Ric Flair held more titles than that number they said. Rhea, I'm gonna quote JD, bro, because I see what he sees now. It's like you when she got called up from NXT UK to NXT local and she changed her whole look to that badass gimmick the first time. I was digging it. We all was digging it.
Yeah.
It was like, she's really taking this serious. She changed her whole look, her whole gimmick. She wants to do this. She wants to make a name for herself, which she did in NXT until they fucked her up towards her end run. That WrestleMania match really hurt her, bro. It's still affecting her to this day.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, to quote JD, it's like she's just the way her presentation is just it comes up to me so phony. Like it's not really her to me because I see what
Yeah.
JD sees now when he talks about and I I feel like she's still trying to bounce back from that.
Definitely.
And I'm going with Rhea as well because if Charlotte wins the title, then who's going to beat her? Same with Rhea, but you know how they are with Charlotte. Oscar is done. We don't want to see Oscar get at least this anytime soon
I'd
in
move
the
Oscar to
title picture.
SmackDown. I'd
Yeah,
move to SmackDown after once we're having the draft after SummerSlam.
yeah. And Charlotte, knowing them, they probably might do it the switch, but I'm going with Rhea, bro. The division is just so awful, man. And now they potentially adding Viper Niven. Dang, man, you gotta feel for her, bro.
I just saw that they trademarked that. I forget the name. They trademarked that weird name that they were gonna give them.
Oh yeah.
Today. Uh,
Oh, so they were serious about it.
yeah, they actually have the trademark for it. So that might be a
Damn.
thing that's coming soon. Unfortunately for her, she already got her main roster death before her career even started. Unfortunately, that's what happens. We get teamed up with Eva Marie there. So I don't know what to tell you about that.
Yeah.
It's tough luck, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now
we
we get to
wish her
switch.
nothing but the best.
Go ahead.
I said we wish her nothing but the best.
Yeah,
But
hopefully she figures it out. But if history is telling,
yeah,
then
there's no
she doesn't
hope.
have much shot. But let's switch
But
over to SmackDown, the better of the two shows. We got
yeah.
Bianca versus Bayley. And unfortunately, even though SmackDown is better than Raw, this match I still don't care about. How about you?
Same, bro. Hey, you know how much I love Bailey as well, man. Bailey's awesome, but
I'm a
Bianca's
fan of
title
both of these
reign.
women. They're two of
Yeah,
my
I love
favorites.
Bianca too.
And they're
But
just, I don't care. It's ridiculous.
Bianca's title reign sucks, man. She did nothing with the belt.
Exactly.
And we talked about this, bro. We talked about this since Helen. Let's be real. We talked about this since Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah.
We said it. Bailey should have held the title into WrestleMania this year.
Yep.
Sasha should have won the Rumble.
Yep.
They deserve that main event match because
Those
they
two women
freaking
carried the division.
they carry the company, that whole warehouse era of WWE when they was still in the warehouse. It was Oscar and Drew as well, but it was mainly Sasha and Bailey. They was on all shows. I feel like Vince should have rewarded them with that main event WrestleMania match. No
Yeah.
disrespect to Bianca. I love Bianca, but
It feels like they gave it to her too soon. I probably would have held off to
yeah,
SummerSlam. You
that
get
was
Bailey
the
and Sasha
plan,
at
bro.
Mania.
That's what we planned. We
Yeah.
talked about it. We felt Sasha should have dropped the belt to Bianca at SummerSlam, which would have made more sense. But they wanted to do the Hell in a Cell match off rip, which made no sense to this day, because we know Hell in a Cell matches end feuds. If
Yeah.
history shows, you know. But Bianca did nothing with the title since WrestleMania. Like, all she did was come out with nice looking outfits, show off the title. That was really it.
No, yeah, no disrespect
Barely.
to her. They just haven't. She hasn't been in any good storylines. It's just, it's their booking. Their booking is awful. They don't care about the women's division. They just don't. I feel bad for Bianca because I was excited to see her be the champion because I think she could be a very good champion. But the problem is they don't know how to book her, and that's a problem. I don't understand how you mess up Bianca Belair when she comes up and she has all this fanfare immediately once joining the main roster.
And then barely. Let's talk. Excuse me. Let's talk about barely, bro, because they fucked her up too. Ever since she lost the title,
Yep.
I'm still mad about what they did to her at WrestleMania. She flew her family out there. Did you was it was with Renee? She talked with Renee about it. She flew her family in because
And she
they
didn't get a
told her
fight.
they had plans for her, but they switched it up last minute. Hence the that Bella Twins bullshit they did with her, that 30-second bullshit. I'm still mad about that, bro. Because Bailey is the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. Like we said, her and Sasha carried the company most of last year, and they did her like that for
Yeah,
the
she's one of the
freaking
most
Bella
talented women in the
Twins.
entire company, and they just treated her like nothing, like she was nothing.
And
This was
she
terrible.
worked hard. She worked hard to really own her current gimmick now.
Yeah.
Though she worked her ass off to own it. Because she said herself she wasn't feeling it at first, but she had to get used to it. Sasha helped her out a lot because we know Sasha is great as a heel. Sasha gave her a lot of pointers, and look what they're doing with her now. At this point, bro, I'm like, oh, I want Bailey to be champion. So,
I want her to be champion too. I do.
but
But I don't
Bianca,
think they'll do it.
we love Bianca too. I don't want to make it seem like we hating on Bianca. We're not. It's
It
just
just
that
wasn't her
they
time.
yeah.
Gave it to her too soon.
So it's in my notes. I put Bailey at first, but when it comes to stuff like this, I have to think how they would think. So I'm thinking they're going to keep the belt on Bianca because Sasha's coming back ASAP. She's been on vacation ever since WrestleMania. Don't know if it's Money in the Bank, bro.
Money in the Bank's
Don't
the
know
next pay-per-view. It's
because
next month.
I heard from my source that it's very possible that she might be in the women's Money in the Bank ladder
Who,
match.
Sasha?
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but my source he had told me that yesterday. They they planning the matches out. I'm surprised they starting now. You know, they do it last minute, but they starting to plan the card out now, and they trying to think of names to put in the Money in the Bank matches. So I'll hopefully by that
Hard to
time,
ever win.
yeah, we gonna talk about it, bro, because I have a lot to say about it, about Money in the Bank, but I'm going with Bianca because, like I just said, Sasha's coming back eventually, and TikTok,
Yeah.
TikTok Bianca. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
I want Bailey to win so bad, and I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm still gonna pick Bailey for the simple fact that I'm hoping that we just get it over with. Because I don't know what you need to do with Bianca, but what's currently going on with her is just not good for her. She needs to move on, and that's weird to say about a champion of all people, but she just needs to move on. I know it hasn't been a long time since she's won the title, but just something doesn't feel right with the Bianca title run. And Bailey, in my opinion, is probably one of the better things that is happening outside of Roman Reigns. So I would give her
Most
the
definitely,
championship. And that
especially
leads us
right now.
into what I guess is probably going to end up being the main event since we only got four matches named. We have the last chance Hell in a Cell match with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre can't challenge Bobby Lashley anymore. How you feeling about that?
Wait, hold, I'm sorry, but they really named it Last Chance.
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh my god, man! This company, man. At least AEW looking stacked in the summer, right?
Hey, got a bunch of big shows coming up. Getting prepared for All Out later this summer. Looking a little bit better than SummerSlam, in my opinion.
Oh, most definitely, bro. You thinking about going?
To what? All Out or SummerSlam?
All Out.
Oh, I'll definitely be at All Out.
Oh shit!
SummerSlam,
Hell yeah!
I wouldn't. You can't get me to go to SummerSlam. No, I don't care.
I'm like 80% sure that I'm going to the show in September out here.
The NYC show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm gonna try my best to go, bro. I never been to a wrestling show in my life. I think this will be a very first show to go to.
Be a good
in
experience.
terms of experience. But my fault. I didn't mean to talk about it. The number one company in America right now.
We can't talk about wrestling without talking about them. It's fine. At least they know how to properly book a storyline. So we could talk about them all we want.
Talk about it, bro. Gotta love Tony Khan, man. That's our guy.
Yeah,
He's really like us.
A better name than the Last Chance Hell in a Cell.
But let's talk about this match. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. First of all, I'm a huge fan of both of them. Don't get me wrong, especially Drew. Drew's been my guy for years. Ever since they fired him and he went to the Indies and he literally busted his ass to get where he's at, to get back to the company and get to where he's at right now. Lashley, same thing. They let him go. He did the MMA thing. He came back to wrestling. He went to TNA. Amazing run in TNA, bro.
Very good.
They also had a match with Drew at that time. Excellent feud. Loved it. Now they doing this match too much. We've seen it too many times. They turning Lashley to the Godfather. I see. I call me the Godfather. they turning Lashley into that. fun fact, by the way, bro. One of the ladies that we saw, the very first time MVP brought all those ladies out. One of them is following me on Instagram. I was shocked. Um, um, I'm loving the pairing with MVP because it takes me back to like the Impact days that I just mentioned. They were together at those times as well. And MVP is really the Paul Heyman to Bobby Lashley.
One of the best managers in all of wrestling, hands down. I love MVP.
Yeah. Oh, I always loved MVP, bro. Over the years, I know a lot of people didn't, because a lot of people wasn't fans of him, honestly. But what really made him gain my respect was when they let him go. He went to New Japan. He became the very first IWGP IC champion. Amazing. He beat Okada and Tanahashi in the same night. Nobody done that ever. And he's in a very good space now because he's been through a lot personally. Lashley, I'm really happy Lashley is the WWE champion, bro.
He deserved it. He's been one of the better things on Raw, and I mean, I know that's not saying much, but
yeah,
Hurt Business was one of the better parts of the pandemic.
It really was, bro. It was the Hurt Business and Sasha and Bailey. They held it down.
They did.
I'm still mad they broke them up.
Yeah.
All because Vince didn't want to put Shelton and Cedric. Mind you, Shelton Benjamin, he bust his ass for Vince for how many years? You want to say that about him?
Vince doesn't know what he has. I mean, both Shelton and Cedric are two great in-ring performers, and Vince, he just doesn't know what he has. I don't understand it.
And it was a great stable. They all look good together. And but I'm happy. I'm glad that Lashley is the champion. Like you said, he deserved it. He should have won it back in 2007 when he faced John Cena for the championship. Fun fact, bro, they wanted to put the belt on him that night, but Vince, he changed the decision last minute. He wanted to keep it on Cena. At that time, this was back when the WWE Championships was still in the spin the belt era.
Oh boy.
But good times over, huh? Let me stop.
Those were the times.
Drew, they messed up on Drew, bro. He shouldn't have lost the title, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know. They wanted to do the title change because they should have just kept it on him until they brought fans back.
Yep.
At least into WrestleMania, at least. If they didn't want to keep it on him now, for example. And I just hope this is the last match because we've seen it so many times.
Unless Drew wins, this is supposed to be the last match. I'm
Drew loses. I'm going with Drew, bro. Because if Lesnar comes back and they do the match, they don't need to do it for the title. Because we know, well, I don't know how Lashley and Lesnar's egos will be in terms of like who will go over, but it doesn't need to be for the belt.
Brock 100% is going over.
Let's say the match happens. Brock is going over. Brock is going to be champion again. Nobody wants to see that because he's going to hold the belt hostage.
I'm afraid that's what I think's going to happen.
We're going to be back to square one.
The way I look at it is they can't have Drew McIntyre lose in front of the fans when he comes back. And if he was going to win the title back, in my opinion, you should have won it back in front of fans rather than at a meaningless Hell in a Cell pay-per-view with no fans. So I don't understand why he would have lost at WrestleMania if he's just going to win here. I just hope we don't have to see these two guys wrestle again. I've had my fair fill of this feud. It needs to end. I don't care how it ends, whether that's Drew winning and Lashley switching brands, or Lashley winning and Drew switching brands. I just need this feud to move on to somebody else. I'm about tired of it. What I want to know from you is, what do you think the likelihood of seeing Brock Lesnar show up at Hell in a Cell is going to be? Because this show is quite possibly a huge disaster. They need something to happen on the show. Could it be Brock Lesnar?
That's a good question, bro. So there's 4 matches on this shitty show.
Yep.
I wasn't on social media today, so I don't know why they moved the Roman Reigns match to tonight. But
they moved it. I'll say this: Roman had it's for Father's Day, since Roman has a kid, and I'm not against that. I mean, Roman deserves a day off.
Really?
That's what they're saying it is. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I think that makes sense to me, at least. If that's true, then props to Vince for giving Roman his time off.
Oh hell yeah! It's Roman. Roman's been busting his ass ever since he came back, so he deserved it if that's the case. Because Roman said it straight up. When it comes to his matches, he wants to go either first or last, because he's the guy right now.
There's nobody in all of wrestling that's better than him right now. And that's why I had to put on Roman Reigns' shirt. It might be an old shirt, but it doesn't change the fact it's still Roman Reigns.
It's still Roman, bro. I forgot what I was about to say. Well, he's been busting his ass since he came back, like I just said. So if that's the case, then I respect that.
Definitely.
So it makes me even more, because I'm gonna be watching SmackDown tonight. So yeah, I know that's a surprise coming for me.
Hey, they got a championship match and a Hell in a Cell match. I can't blame you. It's gonna be at least interesting.
Yeah, because AEW tonight is looking really stacked.
Commercial breaks in the middle of a Hell in a Cell match for the World Championship. Hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah. Because AEW is looking really stacked tonight.
Yeah.
Roman deserves it if that's the case, like I said. I think because Lesnar, they moved him right from the website to the active roster.
Yep.
That's what I heard.
Yep.
I think we might see there's going to be something newsworthy happening, bro.
I think he could potentially interfere and cost Drew or cost Bobby the match and set up a program there somehow. That'll be interesting going into SummerSlam. You got to get the big matches. I believe they have to compete with Manny Pacquiao in Vegas the same night as SummerSlam. So you need to have your best card forth, and I think probably the biggest match you can get on the Raw side of things is probably Lashley and probably Lesnar. At least that's the biggest thing I can see without maybe Cena being put on Raw, but I don't think that would happen. So I think it's definitely possible for Brock Lesnar to show up. I hope it does, to give this show something to care about.
Let me ask you something, bro. What do you think about Edge? Do you think Edge? You think when Edge comes back, he's gonna go back to SmackDown or Raw? I think he should go back to Raw. I'm talking in terms of
superstar. He is supposed to be a Raw superstar.
He's on their creative team. Championship. He's on the Raw's creative team.
Yeah.
But he doesn't take that job serious like Daniel Bryan did when he was on SmackDown's creative team. Because Daniel Bryan was really in there working with the team.
Daniel Bryan had some of the best stuff going on in all of wrestling when he was
Edge.
SmackDown.
Edge didn't care. Edge didn't care about the career. He was just focusing on his getting back into the ring, his
He's
in-ring
focused on
career.
himself.
Okay, I think one of three things could happen, bro, at this pay-per-view on Sunday. Either Lesnar, Edge. I'm Edge is slim with me. I think we're gonna see Edge back real soon. Or and the last person I'm thinking of is Sasha. But
I
yeah, I'm
really
thinking.
hope we don't see Edge. Edge is just I'm not feeling him anymore.
Yeah,
It's just died down on me.
I I didn't like how he put himself in that match because he was Edge is the reason he was in that triple threat match. He was supposed to be on Raw challenging for the WWE Championship, but he didn't want to
It
do
would have
that.
made more sense on Raw.
Edge wanted to be in the biggest thing that's going on right now, which was Roman and DB. So like I said, bro, I'm going with Drew in the match. We know their chemistry. It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, it's
But
probably gonna be the best match of the night. That's no
let's
question.
just hope this is the last one.
It might be good. That does not mean we don't want it to end. I really hope this is the last time we have to sit through a Lashley and Drew match because it's getting old. It's getting old.
But I'm thinking about it now. I think Lesnar may come back and probably
That's
have a stare down with Lashley. That would blow up Twitter that night.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lesnar breaks into the cage and costs him the match. To be honest with you,
He did that once. He did that. Remember
history repeats.
Roman versus Braun for the
He did,
Universal Champ?
yeah.
Yeah. he pulled a cane.
That might just be what Brock Lesnar does at Hell in a Cell pay-per-views now. Who knows? But
Well,
I think go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, bro. Since we talking about Hell in a Cell, my favorite Hell in a Cell match of all time is the first one because I saw it live that night. Kane's debut. Well, not live.
Day. Hold on. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say not live, but you know what I mean on TV.
Yeah. There was a cell match the other day that I was looking up because I remember watching it as a kid. It was the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker, Stone Cold, Triple H, Rock, Angle, and Rikishi. That for some reason I love that match. I don't know what it is.
Oh, classic! That was it. Rikishi flew off the cage.
Rikishi flew off into the cage into the
haystack. Yeah, it was haystack. It was a truck with haystack.
I don't know why, but that match was one of my favorite matches. I don't know what it was, but that
match was lit, bro. In the storytelling, just oh my god.
Yes.
Man, I miss those days.
Back when the crowd actually cared, everybody was into the match. Now you go to a show and people are just on their phones or half asleep or just doing whatever, going to the bathroom. I mean, you could probably take about a 2-hour bathroom break with this show. All you need to be there is for the last 30 minutes for that Hell in a Cell, to be honest with you. Sleep in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect this show to be anything special. How about you?
Nah. Like we said in the beginning, bro, they just doing this because I feel they going back to Saudi in October.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, we were supposed to get Money in the Bank this month based on the normal schedule that they do. Yep. And July would have been what? Extreme Fools? Or
July,
Extreme Fools, right?
It would have been Extreme Rules, I think, yeah.
That's another pay-per-view they need to get rid of, bro. That
They need to get rid of
TLC,
that. They need to
Hell in
get
a
rid of the
Cell.
Elimination Chamber. They need to get rid of a lot of shows, man.
You see, back then, bro, back in the day, like they had the big four, obviously,
Yeah.
but when they did pay-per-views, it meant something.
It mattered.
It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't a gimmick a gimmick type pay-per-view name. They they put effort into it, but
I'll tell you
they
exactly
need to
why they
bring
don't
back.
put effort into it. Because you're paying like $9 a month. You're not paying $60 for a show. You're paying like $10. So they just don't care. They'll give you maybe 2 good shows a year because you're paying $120 over the course of a year. That's it. They don't care the rest of the year.
And now they talking about SummerSlam being the WrestleMania.
It's
What
not going
about
to be
WrestleMania?
You might have Cena on this show. You might have Lesnar on this show, but the rest of the show is going to be garbage. It's not going to be WrestleMania.
Exactly, because we know they're going to book the card last minute outside of the big matches.
There's going to be about 4 matches going into 2 weeks away, and then everything else is going to be put together last minute, and you're going to end up with about 12 matches on the card. That's not WrestleMania. WrestleMania is continuous storytelling leading up to the end goal, which is a WrestleMania match for a big moment in front of a huge crowd. That is not what SummerSlam is going to end up being. I don't even know what storyline could potentially be built for SummerSlam. So it's not a WrestleMania type of SummerSlam. I'll tell you that right now.
If they do Reigns and Cena, bro, at SummerSlam, my worry is the build. Will Cena be able to really come in and do the build the way he should? I think he should because he's free now.
He's great at building matches. I don't know necessarily what his commitments are because I know he's a Hollywood actor now. I don't know what his commitments are, but if he can get about 3-4 weeks, I think the build would be fine.
Because he's done. They done now filming Fast 9. That was the last thing. Yeah. That movie is looking stacked, bro. It's like fucking. It's like having a wrestling crossover with every promotion. That's how stacked the cast is for this one. But I think Cena should be able to really be able to come in and do the build for a few weeks because we need that if they want to compete with that boxing pay-per-view at the same night, you know.
That's going to be their main match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It's going to be Roman and Cena. If you give us 2 weeks of build, don't even bother. Even bother. Because that's not going to be hyped up to the point of beating Manny Pacquiao's whoever he's facing at Vegas. It's just not happening.
Because the main event of that fight is starting after it's literally starting after SummerSlam ends.
Yeah, so people will probably tune in on the main event to make sure they don't miss that match. I wouldn't be shocked. And to be honest with you, the rest of SummerSlam doesn't matter either, so they just might not watch the whole show.
Exactly. That's the thing with big shows like this. People care about
they care about the big matches. They don't care about all the filler. You give them 6 or 7 matches that are filler, they're not going to watch half the time, and they're just going to come back when they know, hey, John Cena's out there.
But we'll see how it goes, bro.
Yeah. I think that's going to finish it for here today on the Hell in a Cell preview and predictions. We talked a little bit about SummerSlam. We gave you a little bit of insight of what we think could happen going into this summer, some of the big stuff going on in the WWE. We even gave a shout out to the Better Pro Wrestling Company, AEW. Shout out to them. How to get that in. Take a little minutes. Do you have any social medias you would like to shout out for us here, Indigo?
Yes. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Indigo Uchiha. I've been more consistent with my uploads, so please look out for that. I'm on Twitter at L_Indicud. Also on Instagram at Indigo Uchiha.
Yep. And I will link all of his social medias down below. I have a question for you. Will you be previewing and predicting the show on your channel as well as this channel? Because I know you've been doing that for the shows recently. Will you be doing that this weekend?
So I've been caught. I think I might, bro, because I'm doing a video. Well, let me plug in now. I'm doing a video later on today. I want to recap everything that happened this past week.
Okay.
Because I didn't give a takeover preview or review at all. So I want to talk about that for a bit. Talk about this Eva Marie because I have a lot to say about that. And
so it's must watch. It's a must watch video, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. And just giving my thoughts for today's current wrestling because I love everything that's going outside of WWE, of course. I feel we in a period where wrestling is making a big return.
It is, yeah.
And I'm just loving everything that's going on right now because Tony Khan is the guy. He's the man. If I'm being straight up, I'm not trying to sound like an AEW mark or anything. I'm just telling the truth. That company is where it's at right now in terms of American wrestling. Whether you believe it or not. And yeah, I love this sport, bro. Like I love talking about it. I love talking to my friends, you guys about it, and just continuing my fandom, you know.
Definitely. People got to realize we're not here to hate on the shows. We're going to hate on it if it's bad, but if it is good, we will tell you it's good. It's
Exactly.
just not good.
And
there's no hidden agenda. They're just not good.
Exactly. And I'm 26. I've been watching this since the late 90s. I know what I'm talking. I'm not as smart as somebody that grew up in the 80s watching wrestling, because those people are really smart. But I know my shit. I know what's good and what's not. WWE.
Yeah. I know what should be liked and what should be disliked, and I realize that the crowd's not into something. It's not that hard to figure out that the show's been bad.
Yeah. And we praise WWE. How many times we talk about Roman, bro? How good he is.
Yeah, exactly.
He's above Kenny.
Yeah,
we know Kenny.
Best guy in all of wrestling. And in this video alone, we've praised Sasha, we've praised Bayley, we've praised NXT Rhea, we've praised a bunch of different people. We praised Bobby Lashley. We don't hate the show. We don't hate the people. We don't hate when it's good. We hate it when it's bad.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's bad more than it is good. So that's why everybody just doesn't like Raw and does not like SmackDown right now. It's just bad overall. There should be no excuse to come into a pay-per-view like this and have one match that people actually care about. Why are we? I don't understand how you only have one match that people care about coming into the show. It just makes no sense to me.
It was 2 matches, but they wanted to move it tonight.
I don't have a problem with that, really. I mean, I think that match would have been good, but in the end, it didn't really matter. Ray's losing, and to be honest with you, it's not really a match that I was dying to see. I know it'll be a good match, but I don't really care that much. But anything Roman's in is going to make you care more than anything else on the card, because Roman's just been that good that anything he does, you're going to want to see what he has to do, what he has to say, what Paul Heyman has to say. He's just been the best thing of all of wrestling. But I think we're going to get out of here. Make sure you do go check out his channel. Make sure you go check out his Twitter and Instagram. And make sure you go in the description down below and check out my stuff. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. Twitter at GamersGoonYT and the Instagram at thegoongameryt. And I will be seeing you guys after Hell in a Cell to review that show. Hopefully it's better than what we think it's going to be, but if it doesn't change, but for right now, it's been your role model of the IWC Gamers Goon, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow.